Let's now focus now to the tourism industry. Now, the industry is a significant contributor to the country's GDP, and that meant that the coronavirus pandemic had a huge impact. The industry dealt a massive blow by the lockdown and travel restrictions as a result thereof. Let's discuss the recovery plan and the challenges ahead with the Tourism Business Council CEO, Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa, who joins us from Centurion. Tshifhiwa, thank you so much for joining us. Always good to have you on. Now, obviously, COVID-19, the pandemic, had a massive impact on the tourism industry. And just as we saw a light at the end of the tunnel, a different challenge would come up. In December, it would have been the second wave and the lockdown levels that were brought further up as a result of that. There was the new variant that unfortunately ended up being called the South African variant internationally. And then we had the very slow rollout of our vaccines program as well. All body blows to an industry that really didn't need it after the year that we've had. And also, I want to ask your opinion on this. It suppressed confidence on traveling to South Africa in various ways. How important is a visitor having confidence in the area that they're visiting? How important is that to people knowing that when they come to South Africa, they're going to be safe and that COVID-19 protocols are going to be where they need to be?
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me. I think it's very critical that, the confidence of the traveler is restored before they travel, especially for the international travelers that are thinking of traveling to South Africa. For local travelers, we already have a bit of confidence in terms of people already traveling, especially over the weekends, those who are taking advantage of the fact that they work from home as well, they travel during the week, but it's not a big demand. So travelers' confidence is critical in the recovery of tourism. And for us to do that, we have to make sure that the protocols that we have developed as an industry, that we've been practicing since last year, are adhered to, and they are followed to the T to make sure that the industry continues to recover. We still have a long way ahead of ourselves because what's happening at the moment is that domestically we have leisure tourism happening, but government travel and corporate travel is not happening, and as well as events and exhibitions are not happening. Now, we only have that one aspect that's traveling, and the infrastructure that we have within tourism is large enough to accommodate all those aspects of travel, including the international travel. So we have challenges ahead of ourselves, and restoring confidence both here and internationally. For now, more especially internationally, because of the variant that unfortunately was called by our country name. We need to go and do the work internationally, be it in the US, be it in the UK, European Union, Asia markets, including China and India, as well as Australia. So we still have a lot of work that we still need to do, and it's not going to be easy. We do know that when we start to have this stigmatization that's attached to us as a brand, we suffer for years to come. So our recovery is going to be long, it's going to be hard, it may be painful, but we need to keep on the job. We need to make sure that people still consider South Africa as a destination, and they do come to South Africa and enjoy the beauty of the country.
Now we've been saying, looking at the latest COVID numbers that unfortunately are spiking, that we're seeing that ordinary South Africans are dropping the ball a little bit. Perhaps there's a little bit of COVID fatigue setting in, that they're not paying attention to wearing their masks and sanitizing and socially distancing when they're in a public space. What is the sense that you're getting from those inside, business owners and operators inside the tourism industry? Are you getting a sense that they still in this fight against COVID-19, making sure that they have all the health provisions in place, and is there buy-in that this is here for the long haul, that people are going to want to make sure that they're going to be safe and that health protocols are in place for some time to come? What are you hearing?
Well, from our side, we do know that we're going to be having these protocols that we put together in terms of wearing masks, social distancing, and sanitization for quite a number of years. Even though people, get vaccinated and, there's confidence in the market, we still need to do more. Our industry is very vulnerable to this type of thing. So we're going to have to do more work. And we may be practicing these protocols even after there's vaccination until such time that, there's full confidence within the travelers. Now, in terms of the buy-in from our members and the travel industry in general and the value chain of the whole tourism, is that we are going to continue to do this. We are making sure that when people come to our establishments, They're wearing their masks, we sanitize, we take temperatures, and so forth and so on. But we still have a problem. We still have a problem with a lot of people, walking into an establishment. You sit down at your table, you take off your mask, you start to talk to people that, you don't stay in the same household with. You're not social distancing, and so forth and so on. So we cannot, as a society and as residents of South Africa, we cannot be, getting into any establishment, be it a supermarket. You go in there, you put on your mask, but when you're outside and when you are with other people that you may not be living with or interacting with on a day-to-day basis, you take off your mask and there's no, social distancing and so forth and so on. That's what's driving the numbers. And we need to make sure that, we as citizens, we adhere to those protocols and we make sure that we practice them. The downside of not doing that is what we're seeing now. The numbers are rising, and when the numbers are rising, government thinks of restriction. And when government puts restriction, it means that people are going to lose jobs. So we're going to have to protect each other's jobs.
Now, just earlier this month, Stats South Africa released their Tourism 2020 report saying that foreign arrivals dropped by 71% last year, from 15.8 million in 2019 to less than 5 million in 2020. Now, yes, we'd like that number to change, but it's not going to change overnight, which means we really do need to focus on domestic markets, local travelers that perhaps would be privileged enough to normally travel overseas, encourage them to travel locally, and those that perhaps would travel locally, try and get them to go and see other parts of the world, parts of the country. Now, last year, there was the commitment from government to promote tourism development in the country's villages, townships, and small dorpies. They refer to it as VTSDs. Do you think enough is being done to market these spaces to local South Africans, now that the focus, unfortunately, cannot be just on international visitors?
Well, I think we have to do more. I do think that the work that's been done by the private sector in terms of pulling together packages, for people to travel around South Africa they've done a great work, because everyone is desperate to get some business. And you see this with discounts that have been put out there, and a lot of people being able to travel to places that otherwise they would not have been able to travel. So there's more work that's being done. Is it enough? No, it's not enough. And that is why, government have been talking about, how do we market small towns and places that otherwise we all don't know about. So one of the big things, even for international markets, is that we need to have new products. And new products and experiences come from the places that people have not traveled to. So we need entrepreneurs to develop those experiences, because at the end of the day, people travel for experiences. They don't just go to any town just because it's a town. There has to be something for them to do, be it for leisure or be it for adventure or any other thing that's tourism related. That's when they're going to go there. And again, we as South Africans need to travel first to those particular areas and enjoy those particular areas and make them popular here at home for international tourists to be able to travel to those areas. So we still have to do a whole lot more work, but experiences and products have to be developed in those particular places to make sure that people travel there. Otherwise, we will be just talking about it, and we'll say, well, travel to my village, travel to my town, but if there is no place to stay, there's nothing to do, no one is going to want to go there. Travelers have choice, both domestically and internationally. But let's put compelling products, and that's what we've been saying to the private sector. Let's put new products into the market, new experiences in the market. Let's make sure that when people come to South Africa, they're not doing the same old, same old. And also for South Africans, they're not doing the same old, same old. Let's go to other places that we otherwise have not visited.
Just before I let you go, very quick answer from you. Do you believe that tourism frontline workers, as they're being called, the face of the South African tourism industry, should get some kind of priority in the next phase of the vaccine rollout? Will it help?
Absolutely, it will help. It will restore confidence, and we do hope that it will be so. And we've been advocating for that, and we'll continue to do so.